Hey there, this is Corey with The Abundant Artist, and today I want to show you how to make your images found on the internet. So we're going to spend some more time looking at the screen today, and I'll show you what I'm doing. So the best way, or the initial step to making your images found on the internet is all about how you name your images. Okay? So what I've got here is 3 images, and you can see that I've given them descriptive names. Now you can see that you can see this first image I've named Scary Tree in the Park, and you can see the image is in fact a scary tree in the park. So what usually happens is when somebody takes a picture, they've named the image something like this, right? The camera just gives it a default number and it doesn't look very pretty. And what happens is search engines like Google will look at the title of the image to get some clue as to what the image is about, okay? So we just go ahead and rename the image. And that's pretty easy. And then when you upload your images, you just go ahead and keep those names. Now, the next element to making your images found on the internet has to do with something called attribute tags. So we're going to take a look at what the alternate text. Attribute tags are also called alt tags or alternate text. So if we go into where I'm editing my image on my website, and we look at something called alternate text right here, I'm going to make sure that the alt text looks like some sort of descriptive text. In this case, I know that this painting is called Grateful and that it's an oil painting on canvas, so I'm going to give it that description. If the alt text is descriptive, then the search engines will have a better idea of what your image is about. Lastly, you want to give your image a good on-page description. So maybe on the web page, next to the image somewhere, you have a description that talks about why you painted it and what it's about and the story behind it. So you can see here for the scary tree image, I've written this thing with lots of descriptive images like setting sun, dark and menacing, Hyde Park, Chicago in spring. I manipulated the shadows using Photoshop and deepened the blacks in Sleepy Hollow and setting sun and doom. So if somebody was searching for a dark and menacing picture of a Chicago park, then this image might show up on a Google search. The next thing that you can do to make your images found on the internet is to put them on popular photo sharing sites like Flickr, SmugMug, or PhotoBucket. Now the reason that you might want to put your images on some of these sites is these sites have millions and millions of people visiting them looking for cool photography or cool paintings or cool images of some kind, and they have powerful tools for making your images found, and you can share your images on these sites with something called a Creative Commons license. Now, Creative Commons is essentially the internet's way of saying this is how I want my images shared. And you can either lock it totally down and say I don't want anybody sharing my images except with my watermark and with attributes to me, and you can't do anything with it. Or you can be really specific and say, yeah, it's okay, you can share my images, just make sure that you link back to me, or go ahead and use my images and remix them into your own art. That's totally cool, whatever you want to do. And most people will respect those Creative Commons rights. It's also important to make sure that you have social sharing icons on your website. So in this example here, on an example website that I put together, I have Facebook, Twitter, share via email, the like button, and the Google plus one button. These are all important things to have on your website, especially around your images if you want your images to be shared with your readers. The last way that I recommend having your images found online is to take advantage of internet memes. A meme is something that becomes really popular and that people will reiterate over and over again. So for example, at the beginning of 2011, I wrote this blog post called I Love My Readers 1-Year Anniversary Giveaway. And you can see at the top of the post, I have this image that says "rar," it means I love you in dinosaur. So I was looking for an image that would express how I felt about my readers. So I went to Flickr.com, and I knew that this internet meme was popular. So I searched "rar" means I love you. And then I went ahead and searched. And then I looked through all of these images here until I found the one that I wanted. This one here. And then I went ahead and found out who the owner was, and I downloaded it, and I uploaded it to my page with an attribution to that user. And so you can see that that brings more traffic to that person, because here's a little snapshot of the traffic that that blog post has sent me over the last year. You can see that it's been almost 6,000 page views, and a whole bunch of those people have gone back and looked at that, at the person who created that image. So hopefully this gives you some ideas on how to make your images found on the internet. It is some work. You do need to rename your images, add some alt attributes, and give some descriptive text on the page. Make sure that you add some social sharing icons, and really there's a lot of things you can do. You just have to put in the work. Have a great day.